Hello, everyone. It's so wonderful to connect with you. Welcome back to the lift with your Auntie Sheila. Auntie Sheila's in the house. You always know, even though I've been hustling out here on the road, lots of speaking, lots of training, you always know I'm coming back to give you the best of the best advice on mental health, resilience, relationships right here. Stay connected. We do have it all. Today, I want to talk about respecting the fact and the reality that everyone you meet, they're going to serve a purpose and they have their place. Let's get into this because a letter from Charmaine really this spoke to me. And I said, you know what? I have to go ahead and address this in a message for the community. Let me read this letter from Charmaine, and then let's get into it. Hi, Sheila. I love your advice and seeking it here. I'm in a bit of a tailspin. I've made some heavy emotional, professional, and a few financial investments, and what I thought was a trusted friend and colleague. I want you to know that I do trust my gut. And a few years back, I got a good vibe off this person. I recently asked for help in the way of a referral. I'm in the middle of a work transition. My friend and colleague, with a question mark behind it, has direct access to the referral and information I need, but will not provide it despite being asked multiple times. I'm upset. It's obvious he is withholding it. I cannot understand why. I need to get past this. Please help. Charmaine. Okay, you know what, Charmaine? Thank you. Thank you. I think this letter and combined with the information I'm going to share, my hope is that you inspire help for a lot of people. And I really have a lot to say about this topic. You came to the right place. First and foremost, I'm sorry this is happening to you. I can only imagine how it feels. And this channel is really about providing information, insight, and strategy to help you kind of trim the fat, as it were. In many ways, I consider myself something of a guide. If you're going through the Amazon of life, more or less, I'm walking right next to you with this big, bushwhacker, if you will, get clearing things, getting out of the way so you have a smoother walk. And so, Charmaine and everyone else listening, I just deeply want to connect you to a couple things. My professors, about 4 points I want to hit here. Many years ago, I had a wonderful professor, and never forget some really key advice that she told me. And she says, Sheila, I want you to always remember that the inner workings of people are strange. The inner workings of people are strange. So, Charmaine, that's the first thing I want you to hold on to, that no one reveals all of who they are up front. So we rely on our best judgment, the energy coming from the person, the vibe we get. All of that comes into the mix when we're making a decision of who we're going to pull closer to us and who we're really going to keep maybe at arm's length away. And so I want you to be gentle with yourself, because it's not always about, oh my God, my judgment is so poor. It's not always about that. Sometimes it's just a matter of understanding that what a person reveals to us can change, and change dramatically. In some instances, it's ever evolving. So therefore, how we make the decisions, what we see, the truth of our relationship with them or who this person is constantly evolving too. Something may start out one way and move into a different direction based on fresh information you get. Someone you may not care for. I've had that. I've had people come to me, I don't know if I really care for this person. And then later on down the line, it's like, oh my God, this individual is absolutely amazing. I've had people that you couldn't have told me we wouldn't be as thick as thieves and the best buddies, and they just profoundly, and when I say profound, it's with a capital P, profoundly disappointed me in finding out more of who they are, miscalculating energies around reciprocity, the whole 9 yards. So that's the first thing I want to connect you to. The inner workings of people are strange. And I don't care how close you think you are to a person, how great your judgment and discernment is. There's a part of every human being that you meet that you can't touch. That's their innermost workings and how they see the world. And that is hidden. That's almost, it's just rarely revealed. Keep that in mind. Secondly, I have to keep it real, as my grandmother would say, tell the truth and shame the devil. Everyone out here is just not doing their work. I don't even know how else to say it other than everyone out here is not doing their work. And what do I mean by that? I think as we move along in life, growing in areas of direct communication, transparency, decency, I feel like that's just a work of life. And we should constantly, my opinion, be moving in that direction. But Charmaine, I've had a similar situation where someone I thought, okay, we're cool, we have a good rapport here, some favors were asked, different things. And it's like, what is going on here? If you don't want to do it, say it. If there's some reason behind it, let me know. We hope we're adults and we can just be transparent. I don't know why your friend and colleague will not give you the referral. And that's their privilege and their right. But there's also, I think, when someone has been decent, a responsibility to turn to them and say, I understand, and this is why I'm not going to forward it. There's something clearly going on. So I do feel and sense your frustration. But the silver lining in all of this is this person that you consider a friend and colleague, I don't know for how much longer, is also giving you really good information about how they operate. And we need to pay very close attention when people reveal how they operate, how they move through life, their modus operandi, how I move. Okay. So understand, I think it's safe to say we've identified this is a person who's not doing their work. And I can't even go further with it than what I've just said. Number three, Charmaine, this is key. I want you to spend some time today. You don't need to wait till later in the week. Pour some lemonade, iced tea, beverage of your choice. And I just want you to sit down, do some process work, some clearing work. And part of that is getting clear on the story. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You're going to live out your story. And what do I mean by that? If your story is, this a-hole is withholding information from me, blah, 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 and I'm so stressed. If that's your story and how you're talking to yourself, you're going to live that out. But I would suggest entertaining an elevated story. So again, something very similar happened with me. And this is really how I chose to narrow down the story. This is what I told myself then and what I tell myself all these years later. You know what? This is someone that I met. And as the relationship evolved, there were some aspects of this person that just created a natural boundary for me to just pause. And I choose to respect that. I choose to respect the natural boundary that was created by this person's behavior. And you know what? I don't think you can do better than just respecting the wisdom. Charmaine, ask yourself, what am I seeing here? What am I being told? A lot of things that I can see, this person is communicating, I'm not forthright. I'm not direct. That's one. The person is communicating. I feel comfortable keeping things from you that you've asked for without an explanation. They've communicated that. They've also communicated, I'm comfortable with you walking around with question marks. I can only imagine you're frustrated, and I'm okay with that. So, in the midst of your frustration, also note what's being communicated to you. So, next, number 4, this is really important and the whole crux of my program this afternoon. Everyone listening to this, please sit with this and let yourself absorb it. Everyone that you'll meet in this lifetime, which I call the sojourn, has their place. Everyone has their place. The people you're passing by in traffic, or as you're on the freeway, they have their place. Their place is in a car on the opposite end of the highway, traveling to their destination. That's their place in your life. That's a very remote place. You're going to have people that you meet. Some of them, they'll walk with you a short period. They just, they came to teach you something or highlight something. Some of them are going to have a lengthy stay in your life. They may journey with you until the end of your days. Every single person has their place. Here's the gist of the entire message. A person's placement will shift. A person's placement will shift based on new information that we receive, new behaviors that we observe, feelings, emotions that come up. So placements shift all the time. And we do well to give ourselves that liberty and not become so rigid that when we get new information, it's just impossible for us to make that change, to accept this person's new placement, because we have essentially glued ourselves into a position. And I will tell you, I wished, as I sit here today, I very much wish that in the past, it's a lesson I learned, but quite frankly, I didn't learn it soon enough for my taste, that whenever you have to force a fit, or whenever there's just these stirrings that you just can't get settled within yourself, that's great information. That's great intel. I can remember a relationship many years ago. It was a romantic relationship. I just wanted this person to be more. I wanted them to, let's have the relationship be more, let's be closer. Let's spend more time together. I want you to be more communicative. And so it was a fit that I attempted to force. And when I wasn't forcing that fit, I was in sadness and lamenting that this individual, they weren't sent for that. It wasn't meant for that. Nor did they have capacity for it. Not a judgment. It's just, we all have different capacities. I have certain capacities where, hey, lots of capacity, overflowing capacity. Some aspects, there's limited capacity. This individual just was never going to be the person that I wanted him to be. And I would have had a much better time during that period of life to just look and accept, this is who you are. You fit over here. You fit over here. And you fit over here perfectly, by the way. But when I try to force you into this corner or force you into this area of my life, it is a total mismatch. And matter of fact, not only is it a mismatch, it's painful. So I just want everyone to begin to pay close attention to, number one, how are you feeling? And when you think about this person, how do you feel in their presence? I want you to think about, my 3 favorite words are ease, joy, and glory, because where there's ease, joy, and glory, I can tell you right now, the people that I enjoy most, the people that are closest to me, I don't have question marks. I don't have question marks of their love for me. I don't have question marks for their respect, even if it's not a friendship or love relationship. I have colleagues, I don't question that they respect me. That's how you know when you start having these question marks, like I don't know, that's your spirit telling you it's not, they're not positioned the right way in your life. They're not positioned. And sometimes it's not always about getting rid of the person. You know, some folks are so quick to turn people off or cut them off. Sometimes it's just repositioning them. And I have given myself permission. I just say, you know what? This energy vibe has changed, or my feelings have changed here. And maybe I pull someone's energy closer. Maybe I distance myself from their energy. So it really it's a deeply intimate and personal work that we're doing in this area. But Charmaine, I would tell you for my advice to you on this, very straightforward. You said you've asked multiple times. Stop asking. Stop asking. This is clearly a person you've built a rapport with. They know exactly what you've asked for. Um, they don't sound unintelligent. It's just, it looks to me like something they're just not willing to do. I'm sad for you that you don't have an answer or an explanation, but I just want you to know you are being communicated with. And my advice is to stop asking for clarification, stop asking for the referral, and back off. Because as my grandma would say, now you know. Now you know. And I think ultimately situations come up and people can't betray who they are. Do you know what I mean? This is who you're dealing with. The other part that drew you in may be fun, nice, whatever, but this part is there too. This part is there too, and this part represents something of a danger zone for you. You see, because if you weren't in emotional distress, you wouldn't have even reached out. And you don't need to have anyone positioned in your life or your heart or your psyche they can't be positioned where they can do damage. And right now it's time to reposition. I know it's hard. You know, sometimes you may not be hanging out as much. You may not be comfortable. You got to kind of back away. But I think it's a grave mistake, a grave injustice and disservice to yourself to ignore clear information that you are receiving. So again, everyone you meet is going to have their place. Let them be placed organically. Stay aware, stay alert. Know that when you get information, positioning may change. I hope that this information has made a difference for you. And by the way, remember my new book on June 17th, The Busy Lie, is going to drop. You can get a free download for one day and one day only. Please mark your calendar on Amazon. One day and one day only. Busy Lie is coming out. I deal with many topics around relationships, mental health, the whole 9 yards in this book. Thank you so much. I hope this message made a difference for you.